Hello, in this video I'm going to explain some of the expectations for administrators and principals on BCSC e-learning days. So the goal of this presentation is to help you as an administrator better understand what e-learning day expectations are for you so you can prepare all stakeholders, staff, students, and families for an e-learning day. So we will have an e-learning day if we have 6 cancellations or if we have any cancellation after spring break. So spring break is March 16th through the 20th for the 1920 school year and March 15th through the 19th for the 2020-2021 school year. So basically, if we go over our 5 allotted snow days or have any cancellation after spring break, we'll have an e-learning day. And all lessons and teaching and instruction will take place virtually. Students will not report to their buildings and neither will staff. And we do this so we can prevent adding on makeup days at the end of the school year. It allows us to have continuous instruction and maintain momentum throughout the school year. It also allows our students to learn from new innovative technology and develop some future-ready technical skills that they'll use in their time after they're in BCSC. So expectations for teachers and important things for you to know as an administrator is that all teachers, certified teachers, must post their lessons on eLearning by 9 a.m. Lessons aren't posted anywhere else, but they are posted on eLearning because all of our students have eLearning accounts and access to lessons through that means. And by lesson, this means the teacher posts their lesson objectives, so their goal, instructions, as well as any resources the students will need to complete the lesson objectives. If students don't have Wi-Fi, teachers are asked to plan ahead. Teachers as well, if they don't have Wi-Fi, they're asked to plan ahead and kind of figure out a place where they could get some Wi-Fi. They could report to your building. It's not an expectation that they do. There's also a whole list of Wi-Fi locations listed on a Google map here, so teachers can kind of scope out where they could go and also where they could direct students to go as well. Teachers will have office hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. where they'll provide guidance to students, answer questions, communicate with parents if need be, and we encourage teachers that they need to try to respond to a student within 30 to 45 minutes. We know it's not realistic to have them respond within 30 seconds of a message because they might be up doing other things, but within a 30 to 45 minute window. Typically, it's encouraged that they use the eLearning Messenger to get in contact with students because students are already in the platform. That's where they go for their lessons. But other teachers might want to use other means as well. Some teachers use Remind and Class Dojo for communicating with parents, guardians, and students, so they might also utilize those resources on an e-learning day. If you use different communication tools on a regular basis as a principal, I would recommend that you use those tools on an e-learning day. So if you use Remind and send out messages to everyone in your building, you could do that on an e-learning day. If you use newsletters or something along those lines, you are welcome to do that as well. For the students, an e-learning day means that they complete their lesson activities from their homes, from a community building, or from a business. On that map that shows Wi-Fi locations are a whole collection of businesses where there's free Wi-Fi, but also community buildings where we BCSC, have contacted leadership of those buildings and gotten their approval to have students there on an e-learning day. So some of those buildings will open their doors and they know that there might be students who come there on a day we have an e-learning day with their devices and are welcome to use their Wi-Fi. If we do think that we are going to have an e-learning day, you will be some of the first people who find out. So especially if you're an elementary principal, you can make sure that you tell teachers to send those devices home with students because they don't typically bring them home on a regular basis in every building. We'll tell you either through email about that, but the general public will also be informed through email, alerts, sign up for those if you haven't already, as well as through the BCSC website. We'll have a notice posted there. There is a new e-learning website. It was new in the 2019-2018 school year. So if you want to look it over, it's the one that's linked here is for the general public. There's also a staff e-learning website that you can check out. As an administrator, it is your responsibility to report to your building on an e-learning day, and there will be some other office staff that should be reporting to you. If they call you and they cannot get there, then it's up to your discretion on what you want to do. But it would be deans and counselors, secretaries, and front office staff. We will have 3 locations open as food sites on an e-learning day, weather permitting. That's Parkside, Taylorsville, and Central Middle School. They would be open from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. These are not free meals. Regular fees still apply. If a parent would like to eat with their student, they can do that as well. They can buy an adult lunch. And if it's kind of determined by transportation that day and the operations, if we have those facilities open or not. So you would figure out if you're one of those supervisors at those buildings whether you will be open or not, depending on weather. If it's a state of emergency, we probably will not open those facilities. And visitors on an e-learning day for lunch do not have to go through the typical vetting and ID process at the front office. You would treat this as you would a sporting event where the doors are open and people just go in like so. For support staff and hourly staff, ways for them to make up hours that would be lost from having e-learning day, they have some choices here, and you have choices as well on what you would like them to do. They can participate in online learning modules, which are 4 PD sessions. They would participate on those using a device of their own, and that's how they could make up hours there. There were 2 modules that were new and developed last year, and those were over developmental assets and growth mindset. There was a more improved one. And if you have additional ideas, please let us know. A couple things that you can do to prepare as an administrator is to send home an e-learning day letter. There's a letter linked here. It's updated for the 2019-20 school year. It's linked in English and Spanish. So if you would like to send that home, please do so before winter break and then also after spring break, so families have it on their radar. Practice sending home devices and practice having e-learning days. So it doesn't mean that you have to stop everything you're doing one day at school and do e-learning only that day. It can be telling a specific grade level that make sure you practice an e-learning day for 15 minutes or so on this day of the week and move on from there. Just so students get familiarity with the platform, they can get practice in messaging and communicating to their teacher through its learning as they would on an e-learning day. And so teachers can practice building lessons on there and testing whether students need more assistance accessing those. A couple of other action items to help prepare for e-learning days would be to also use these login sheets here. These are really helpful to give to teachers. Teachers will get these at trainings that I'll offer as well, but it basically is a guide that teachers can give with students and also give to parents that shows how to log into the different technology systems that we use. So it could basically be a sheet, a reference sheet to write down the login information, usernames and passwords for its learning, Google, and their curriculum tools. It also might be wise to develop a communication game plan, so kind of set some guidelines for yourself and identify what's my best way of communicating with staff on an e-learning day. Is it email? Is it its learning? Am I going to send out text alerts to families? Kind of getting some of that situated before the day may come. If you have questions, let us know.